No.
I gave instructions as to what
Reclaiming my time.
Yeah, I'm answering your question.
Well, you got to let him answer.
Reclaiming my time.
The effort there was...
Mr. Barr, I just
effort
asked
there
for a
was
yes
to
or
move.
no, so let me just tell you, I'm starting to lose my temper.
First, I'd like to respond to what you...
Would you please answer my question? My time is limited.
I did not ask you a question yet, sir. I ask you to please refrain from interrupting me.
Shame on you, Mr. Barr.
Can I just say, Mr.
Shame on you.
Can I just
My
say,
time has expired.
This is my time,
I'm
Mr.
answering,
Chairman.
and
I have short time.
well,
Can you
I'd
just tell
like
me
to be
why
able
you
to
have not
answer the
done a package?
police
Mr. Attorney General, I want to respect you, but I have a short time.
I want you to provide the answers that you are either unwilling to provide us or don't have answers to.
We were not taking down public health orders. We were making narrow...
The gentleman's time is
We were
expired.
calling attention to the fact...
Will you restore my time because this witness is speaking over my
You
time?
went over
No, I
time. Let the
You were
witness
over your
respond.
That was not a question, that was a statement.
I did not ask you a question yet, sir.
Well,
I ask you to please refrain from interrupting me.
It was
perimeter
necessary that the park be cleared, and it was done. And you said, get it done.
Reclaiming my time.
I'm reclaiming my time, Mr. General.
Reclaiming my time without political bias.
He said he's
and in
enough
April,
evidence.
reclaiming my time, Mr. Attorney.
Listen,
Mr. Attorney
I
General,
think
reclaiming
that's
my
what I
time.
was talking about.
Reclaiming my time.
I think instructions as to what
Reclaiming
the...
my time.
Yeah,
Reclaiming
I'm
my
answering
time.
your question.
Well, you got to let him answer.
Reclaiming my time.
That's a myth.
It wasn't until this
That's a lie.
administration. It wasn't
Reclaiming my time.
When people resist law enforcement, they're not peaceful.
Reclaiming my time. I'm surprised at your lack of respect.
What does holding him accountable look like, though? Are there any actual consequences?
We have many options for consequences. What I want people to know is we actually have to hold him accountable to the American people. You saw his affect yesterday. He was disrespectful, spoke over top of every one of us. In particular, he spoke over women.
Yeah, but this is a hearing. I thought I was the one that was supposed to be heard.
Mr.
For things
Barr,
like church.
we have the facts. I'm going by the facts. I am not going to lie to my constituents. I am going to tell them that President Donald Trump and the Attorney General working together are not following health guidelines. They're letting Americans die needlessly because of political reasons.
The Justice Department is responsible for protecting the constitutional rights of Americans, not to serve as the president's personal bully or political director.
The president wants footage for his campaign ads, and you appear to be serving it up to him as ordered. In most of these cities, the protests had begun to wind down before you marched in and confronted the protesters. And the protesters aren't mobs. They are mothers and veterans and mayors.
We fought for a democracy, for the right to speak freely, and you are attempting to take that away. And what's worse, you're doing it for the sole purpose of furthering the president's political agenda and generating footage for Trump campaign commercials.
You really can't hide behind legal fictions this time, Mr. Barr. It's all out in the open, where the people can see what you are doing for themselves. The president wants footage for his campaign ads, and you appear to be serving it up to him as ordered. In most of these cities, the protests had begun to wind down before you marched in and confronted the protesters. You did it here in Washington. You did it at Lafayette Square. You expanded to Portland. You are projecting fear and violence nationwide in pursuit of obvious political objectives. Shame on you, Mr. Barr.
Can I just say, Mr.
Shame on you.
Sorry, Mr. Chairman, could we take a 5-minute break?
Dean is recognized.
Could we take a 5-minute break, Mr. Chairman?
No.
That's a common courtesy, Mr. Chairman, of every witness.
I waited an hour for you this morning. I haven't had lunch. I'd like to take a 5-minute break.
Mr. Attorney General, we are almost finished. We're going to be finished in a few minutes. Otherwise, we can certainly take a break, but
You're clapping.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought the Democrats did a good job. Yes, you're right. They didn't let him answer a lot of the questions because what he does is he just talks and talks and talks and uses up the time and never really answers the questions.
Yeah, but this is a hearing. I thought I was the one that was supposed to be heard.
Are you aware that the rector of the church, that the Episcopal Archbishop of Washington and the presiding bishop of the Episcopal Church nationally, along with the Catholic bishop of the Archdiocese of Washington, all denounced this police assault on the civil rights and civil liberties of the people?
Did they do that before or after the fire was put out?
Well, all that I know is that they denounced what you did.
Spying.
That one word. That's why they're after you, Mr. Attorney General. He had the courage to do what no one else would do at the Justice Department. Sally Yates wouldn't call it spying. Jeff Sessions wouldn't do it. Rod Rosenstein wouldn't do it. Chris Wray sure as heck isn't going to do it. So, Mr. Attorney General, I want to thank you for having the courage to call it what it was, spying. I want to thank you for defending law enforcement, for pointing out what a crazy idea this defund the police policy, whatever you want to call it, is.
The fact of the matter is, if you take Portland, the courthouse is under attack. The federal resources are inside the perimeter around the courthouse, defending it from almost 2 months of daily attacks where people march to the court, try to gain entrance, and have set fires, thrown things, used explosives, and injured police, including just this past weekend, perhaps permanently blinding 3 federal officers with lasers. Since when is it okay to try to burn down a federal court? If someone went down the street to the Prettyman Court here, that beautiful courthouse we have right at the bottom of the hill, and started breaking windows and firing industrial-grade fireworks in to start a fire, throw kerosene balloons in and start fires in the court, is that okay? Is that okay now? Well, I don't think it was an assault. They were told by loudspeaker that the Park Police were preparing to clear 8th Street, and could they move off 8th Street? Is that okay? Is that okay now? No, the U.S. Marshals have a duty to stop that and defend the courthouse, and that's what we are doing in Portland. We are at the courthouse defending the courthouse. We're not out looking for trouble.
Barr, if I
Yeah, but this is a hearing. I thought I was the one that was supposed to be heard.